Like, what's the killing blow? Where you're just seeing their lineup, okay, this is how they end the game. Their pushers are... So they have Chen, right, who wants to hit this timing early and push, but they don't have the best pairings for that. And at the same time, you could also be like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to use Chen to enable our super strong late gamer to come online, but they don't have that either.
But don't you get that from... Don't you get the early push from the Wraith King? Like, with the Mortal Strike skeletons...
Yeah.
This is when you start to build up, and then you've got a Chen army and a skeleton army, and you can take out all the outer towers.
But how do you break the base?
You need Tiny. Like, that's it. You just get pickoffs. And it's a Huskar.
Now select your heroes.
Kind of dangerous against Wraith King's heavy physical damage, but all the magical pop of Winstrike now becomes very useless.
I think this is a really good pick, actually. I think they have very few solutions. Unless Wraith King is really farmed or they get a Silver Age on the Tiny, I think Somnus is going to destroy this game. This lane matchup is unplayable for Zeus, I'm pretty sure. After level 3, you don't stand a chance against Huskar.
Yeah.
He just stands on your hill, throws Burning Spears at you. When you try to come see us with Arc Lightning, he throws a couple extra, just dominates you. So Winstrike have to think outside the box. They're probably going to dual lane mid with the Lich. You might get to see it here. I think it's the best option.
Zeus and Lich together, go the blue boys?
No, I think Lich is off lane. Zeus, I mean. It's non-Grad on Zeus. I don't think they're... I think they'll put Lich Tiny mid with Iceberg, and then they will... Man, this is awkward.
Against the Clink, so it's like Chen and Zeus off, and then Wraith King on a safe lane.
Who do you leave alone? That's the problem. That's actually a really big problem here. There's nobody you can leave alone, and you feel like you can't put one hero mid, right?
It has to be the Wraith King, but he'll struggle for CS. He'll struggle for life.
All of Winstrike's cores struggle against Huskar mid. They actually can't. You can't put any of these 3 cores there and expect to win the lane. Like, even a really strong laner like Tiny, he loses this lane. You just Burning Spears him all the time, and he loses on regen. So, who do you put there? If it's not a dual lane, there's nobody who can stand there alone. And if you put 2 there, one of your side lanes is kind of screwed, actually.
Like, can you force a tri-lane to try and change the balance of this up?
This one is actually really tricky for me from Winstrike's perspective. Yeah, I'm not completely sure what the best solution is, because I'm thinking in my head, like, how do we enable mid? And if they do put the Lich dual lane, who do you sacrifice? Because one of these heroes will have a really tough time if you do that. So,
well, let's see how they roll out.
Okay, so it seems to be their solution to put Zeus alone in the safe lane and then Lich Tiny mid. And they will put the Chen with Wraith King offlane. I think this is the best they could do, actually, if they do it.
I just love watching a Zeus where he goes 1 Clarity, he's got 3 Mangos, 6 Tangos, and a Salve. And they're bouncing the lanes again. So Silent No Fear will go top, Zeus will go bottom, Tiny and Lich will be the mid laners, more than likely. Against LGD's offlane Mirana and VS, Huskar mid, and then Klink's ES is the safe lane. And FY is very much prepared just to fissure everything. I love that sound for the Clinks.
It looks like they changed their mind, too. Right? They looked a bit indecisive on the Winstrike side. First off, I was like, yeah, this makes sense. They're putting Zeus safe lane. And now they just crossed the map without information. They didn't see anything new. They didn't find a hero in the wards. So they're like, oh, we need to dodge. It just looked like they weren't completely sure what the better approach was. But now it seems like they, for now at least, have settled for putting the Zeus alone in the offlane.
Oh, he couldn't fissure block him in.
That's a rare whiff from FY. That was actually... it's a better laugh at that one. Laugh it off, man. That was a bad fissure. That was not good.
Where's the aggressive tips? Charles next and over going for the top room, but Hassan's slipping in behind the line, so it's going to be a bit of a trade-off. Iceberg, what's he got? He's just tree tossing around. So LGD have taken 2. Iceberg, he's dead. Yep. You've got Burning Spears, or maybe not. Somnus with the Frost Blast Fissure will lock in Iceberg, but First Blood goes the way of Winstrike. Iceberg gets up the hill, he'll still go down. Non-Grata, he's always want to fly to slow him down. FY able to do so, they'll cancel off the salve as Arme lets the Searing Arrows fly, but Non-Grata with a double kill on this Zeus. It's a nice way to start, even though they do give a kill over Arme. And now Wraith King, my lord, they just keep going on these fights. Charles gets into the tree, starts up the salve. And No Fear can't cancel it, so Wraith King TP's back up into the top lane.
I love when there's 8 kills a minute, Toby. That's my favorite Dota. That's the best. Give me some more of this.
Man, you're seeing double.
No, there were 8 kills in half a minute. Or 4 kills in half a minute. 4 kills in half a minute. It's 8 kills a minute. Come on now.
Oh, if they can keep it up, I'll love it even harder.
Yeah, we're falling behind. Now it's only 4 kills a minute.
Oh, nice fissure block again onto Non-Grata. He's got a gap in the tree line.
Yep.
But this Frost Blast early from Always Wanna Fly is kind of hurting him. He needs to get the sacrifice up and running, but they're zoning him out with the searing arrows. And Iceberg, oh, good luck, Tiny. He knows this will be a rough lane.
Yeah, they have chosen to leave him alone. I think this is okay for one or two more levels, and then he will be screwed. I don't see it. Like, I don't see this lane working out. I'm ready to be surprised, though. Maybe this works better than I think it will.
He's not getting like Tiny Tranquil, so he can just sit back behind the tower, leech some experience, and just survive.
That's if you play like that.
Great Fissure block, always want to fly. He's got a small tree to go into, cuts his way through real quick. And into safety with the salve. FY wants to try and cancel it, won't be able to do so. He knows Negrata is just hiding in the tree, so comes in trying to just punch him down. But this is such a great start for Negrata when they've actually got the Mango charges. He's got Lightning Bolt available. FY is low, but not low enough for a kill. But the fact that Negrata got multiple kills early on means they can just spam harass his offlane once he has the Arcane Boots.
He has something to work with. Imagine this lane if he didn't have the 2 kills that he got early.
Oh, it'll be a nightmare.
It'll be real bad.
Nightmare. He's burned every single Mango and every single consumable bar one Tango he came to this bottom lane with. Yeah. X-Nova, you've got Mud Golems. They've got the power of the stuns for Winstrike and the ability to dive onto the tower. If the Mud Golems just go, then X-Nova's going to go down anyway. Because the Mud Golem split, then the double stun's going to be the kill. That's why X-Nova is purposefully not killing it off.
I'm surprised NoFear didn't just keep diving him with that Golem into the 2-2. I think it would have killed him. Maybe he wants to let him live and run all the way back to base, feeling like that will be a bigger punishment time-wise, which it will. He was already halfway there, so I think you get that kill if you can. But either way, good pressure regardless in that top lane.
Iceberg is doing the walk of shame right now. He's been out all night and realized there is no way he can hide this. Walks back off the mid lane, and Somnus is just free mid.
Yeah.
He at least got 9 CS and 5 denies. As you said, like, he's a very good CSer.
But the thing is, you say at least, right? But it's really bad for Tiny.
Yeah.
The Tiny relies on getting a lot, and he just isn't because he can't. He's getting crushed. This lane's over. Actually, he needs help, or they need to swap lanes around, but nobody can really go there. So they're going to accept that Iceberg will have a hard game. And I feel like when you look at how Winstrike play their games and what the recipe for success is, Iceberg being shut down is really bad. I think that's the one player they want to shut down the absolute least in the playstyle.
Great Fissure. Don't know if you'll get the totem stun. FY right next to always want to fly. He can't close the distance. Arcane Boots is still on cooldown for the moment. But this is 1 minute too early for Winstrike's offlane. They're actually both going to have to walk home. They got the Arcane Boost. They spammed out a little bit. They were getting close to killing the Clinks, but now he's back up. And NoFear's not having enough presence on this top lane, but creating space for Silent to farm. So 28 the CS for Wraith King versus the 13-2 of the Mirana, but now they jump in. Magic Missile, it's only a level 1 Starfall, and that means Silent can use his stick charge to get a little bit further away, summon a couple of skeleton minions, cut through the tree lines, trying to juke it hard. Can't juke that hard, but maybe the skeletons as well as NoFear. He's got 3 Mud Golems for the stuns, so he's going after the Vengeful Spirit number 1, number 2, number 3. Way to lock it down, but goodbye mid.
Yeah, Shaker rotated over from FY, so they get that kill on Tiny. This is looking really rough. It's obviously very early on in the game, but you start seeing the writing on the wall here that Somnus is going to dominate in this game unless Winstrike somehow find a way. Like, I'm looking at their picks, I'm just like, what a godlike Huskar game, man. Like, what do you really solve this with? You've got to try some smokes mid with the Chen, I think, early on before Huskar gets too strong. And he's coming in now. But Somnus already has the ward. Actually expiring in 5 seconds, but it was a nice toss.
They toss him into it, and then they keep the control up.
That's how you do it. That was a great kill.
Now they're going after Silent on the top lane. Got a couple skeletons available, but 7 stick charges. He's holding it, and he's made it to the trees. Regeneration and TP's on the way. So Chen's coming in. The Wave of Terror will connect, revealing Silent. And there's just one more attack from Chalice to finish the job.
Nice try from NoFear with the TP and then defensive medallion, but the armor wasn't enough.
This offlane of Winstrike, like, I feel like it's about to hit his power timing. Like, FY comes in through the rear, they're just beating the crap out of Arme for the moment. But it's the Arcane Boots plus the never-ending harassment from Always Wanna Fly, and they can't really return the damage. Like, it's a 1-1-1 build, but Frost Armor's enough to cause some problems for Clinks.
He's still doing very well, though. Clinks is top net worth in the game. Sure, they're trying to harass, but he's getting his farm.
He's also getting his one charges. Kind of didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So even when they think they have a kill, maybe they don't. All they can do is harass. But this is great for Somnus, right? Continuously just winning up that mid lane.
That gank we just saw was hugely important, though. That was the most important kill of the whole game so far.
Yeah.
They brought Tiny back in the game, basically. He's still behind by 450 against this Huskar, but given the situation, that's pretty good.
Why is No Fear delaying killing the Observer Ward? He's baiting them in. He was trying to force LGD to try and come and fight him, so he just stood on top of the Observer Ward after hitting it once.
Oh, mid.
Well,
oh, not this time, FY.
Yeah, try to rotate in through the side. Iceberg is the one to get the kill.
They're ready for it. This Observer Ward, they have planted bottom in the river area. Would have seen that rotation in from the Shaker. So they were ready for that exact move, and good response from Lich, being in position to help out Tiny grab that kill.
Again, there we see No Fear rotating towards the top. He's got the Alpha Wolf available, and Silent comes in. They want the support. The Penitence is out. The double stun, make it a triple with that Hellfire, and then boom! Executed by Silent.
Mortal Strike is such a special crit. It's 300% crit damage on all levels.
Second time within the span of a minute that FY gets picked off trying to gank up on Iceberg.
Yep. You saw them place this fresh sentry that they just placed in the river.
In the river, yep.
They had the anticipation. Oh, they saw the last rotation, so I'm going to put a sentry.
You thought the obs was like here or something.
Yeah, they thought the ward saw exactly. They thought the ward saw him before, and now they didn't find. They're like, maybe there wasn't a ward. Let's try again. All right, there's FY's ward.
Yeah, but where do they see it? Like this ward's so deep in, like it sees anyone that walks down the ramp.
No, didn't get it. Iceberg mid.
Waiting for the toss back.
That was one creep in the way for his toss. And Somnus is fine.
For now, 10 stick charges. Oh, he's actually going to jump in, using that inner vitality. Avalanche will slow him down. They need the stuns and the damage, and Iceberg. He actually gets the kill, but he'll die for the cause. Way too many Searing Arrow charges on him. Nongrada's having trouble on bottom lane. Arme diving in deep, and Nongrada just loops back around. Even finds the CS in the trees. The Fisher, 33 HP. He can't get away from this. Always want to fly. Gives him Frost Armor, but that won't protect him. And in fact, now Arme can just go into the trees once more. Hunting for yet another kill. But he can't, not underneath the tier 2 tower. That's a little too dangerous. And next Nova's in the middle of nowhere. He's got a full creep wave with him.
Arme, really? Oh my god, he actually got him. That was really nice.
I was watching X-Nova die up on top. Excuse, skeleton minion finds him.
Always Wanna Fly just stepped out a little bit again, and then Arme used Strafe, ran into the tower and hit him. The tower misses, obviously, on the Strafe, and grabs himself that kill. Still a good amount of kills per minute. Toby, we still got 2 kills per minute.
Yeah.
I'll live with that.
It's acceptable.
But yeah, Armlet's coming up for Somnus now, and this is when mid is going to start getting really tricky, because these previous moments, sure, they've had enough in the tank to bring him down, but with the Armlet buffer, it's really difficult. They need to get him very low, and then they need to Zeus ult probably for the finisher, because else it's going to be really difficult.
They try and chase down after Silent. Arrow's going to fly. He's kind of at a bit of a choke point, but the arrow flew too far to the left. Expecting him to try and juke it, not just run straight.
How much damage does Zeus ult do when Huskar is really low? Like 50, maybe?
You got magic resistance of 30%, and I think 50 may be a little bit.
He gets a lot of magic resistance when he drops low.
He's jumping in. Iceberg just throws him away.
It's got to be more than 50, you're right. It's probably like 100 after reduction, something like that. 80 to 100 would be my guess, 80? Let's say 80.
Okay.
That's still, you know, like, the way they're setting up, I know I'm talking about this a lot, but this really is the centerpiece of the whole game, because the last pick in is one of these trump card last picks, so we have to look at the win condition for the other team and how they solve it on top lane.
Wraith 5 Blast is out. Here comes the extra support. Wraith King doesn't have the reincarnation. It already got burnt previously. He's got stick charges, takes the arrow, and now Nongrada will arrive as well. He has the Thunder God's Wrath. They got drop chance a little bit low for this to actually find a kill, and instead they just turn around. They go after the Zeus. Thunder God's Wrath comes out. Charles still too low. Always want to fly. He's finished the job. That one attack is not enough. Stick charges give the life back into the Mirana.
I think those stick charges and the level up, actually.
Into mid. They jump after Somnus. They got double Alpha Wolves. All the crits they could possibly bring in. The stun from FY creates space, and then Inner Vitality. Somnus jumps in again. He's just armor toggling his way through this. The fissure is perfect. A double stun. And Winstrike are falling apart at the seams.
That was actually the exact moment where Zeus ult would have made the difference. This is how I imagine it's going to go. Somnus is going to play and get low from Tiny's combo, but he's going to armlet toggle, turn around, and win the fight. Even with Chen creeps there, they couldn't bring him down. So they need that very little bit of extra damage that Zeus can bring, but obviously he was dead and had already used Thunder God's Wrath in the top fight. So Somnus felt really confident going for that play. And now we're starting to see ridiculous lead. This is getting out of control. 6,000 gold, minute 11. Yeah, Somnus will... This is even... They've only taken one tower. They're going to take 2 more now. They're getting the mid tower and the top tower at the same time. And this lead for LGD will be truly scary. Winstrike is...
They're just trying to delay it. Like, they're frost armoring up everything they possibly can to slow things down. But you got no initiation. Like, Iceberg, like, he's going Shadowblade to begin with. Obviously wants to find some way into a Silver Edge. But when FY can fissure into an arrow, well, I'm kind of watching the kill that they're not getting, which is top lane, which will be the reincarnation. And double support arrives, so VS and Huskar die in the meantime, but then here comes Nongrata. The Echo Slam out from FY, that's not enough damage. It's going to be 3 kills going the way of Winstrike. What the hell happened in the mid?
They got a really good Chain Frost off onto the Huskar. He got stuck between creeps. They tried to save him with the swap, but there was enough in the tank there. But still showing signs of life here. I need a couple of more plays like this because, as you see when you bring up when you look at the hero net worths, just the graph is one thing, but the chart is scary. We have not seen Ame leave bottom yet. Just wait for that.
Get away from me, Somnus.
Yep. At least Tiny has that play. There goes the tower.
Yeah.
Ame's been having the time of his life, like on the bottom lane, and that's oh, hello, Courier, Iceberg. 1 punch dropped it to 10 HP.
If he had a tree, he would have one-shot it.
And he's going Maelstrom. Whatever happened to the old days of Desolator Clinks?
I don't know if I like this that much. Maybe he wants it against the Chen.
Well, they're coming over for Roshan. All 5 Furious from LGD, 13 minutes in, looking to secure it. And Winstrike, they'll smoke up. They're coming to try and contest. Silent doesn't have reincarnation. It's on cooldown for another 2 minutes. Roshan actually stunning up Huskar. So he's really low, looking to try and fight. Arrow, he'll kill off the Wild Wing, so say goodbye to a little bit of armor for Winstrike. So they Thunderbolt around. Hellfire Blast gets VS low. Double Fissure stun. And in comes the Centaur. The toss, the stomp. The timing was a little bit off, however. And already, Ame's found his first real target, maybe being chained up. There's the Hand of God, but they don't see him. X-Nova just swaps out Ame, gets close so he can stun over. And now that Chain Frost bounces around back into Somnus. Not enough damage, however. Silent, still no reincarnation, so this is a death for him. And LGD, they just seem to be just picking them off one by one. The VS finally died, coming a little too close to the tiny toss range. The 4 heroes down for Winstrike, no fear, barely surviving.
Both teams had that nicely set up with vision, so that was a pretty even. That was pretty even terms, right? They both had good vision in the area, but the one thing that Winstrike were missing was a sentry for the Clinks, and that one thing was kind of the difference maker. He ran in, he found the first good kill, and survived, and
boy, no way to survive! 1 charge from Ame, barely keep him alive. Meanwhile, Somnus never came out of the pit. Armlet toggling while Roshan stunned up by arrows, and now has the Aegis the Immortal, exactly what a Huskar wants. 14, 15 minutes in, Aegis up, Armlet already done, and well on the way to a Halberd.
Yeah, I think he wants this Halberd mainly against the Wraith King. Against that big crit, get the evasion against the skeletons, and against the Tiny.
What?
It's the default build for Huskar too, so there's nothing out of the ordinary about getting this item. It's just really high value, lots of good stats. The evasion is great for Huskar to enable you to toggle. And I gotta say, man, I'm looking at Winstrike's lineup, and all the hope I see is they have to just fight them. I don't think they can split their way out of this one. I don't think they can be cute and pull off something where they manage to force a fight.
How they force a fight, they can win when you see someone like Ame just do this. Like, he's underneath the dire sentry ward that was already planted. Yeah, it's nighttime vision. But my god, Lich can't survive. Chen won't be able to survive as Somnus just jumps on him and No Fear burns to death. And Iceberg just watches. He's got a Shadow Blade available, so he can go for initiation to work with Silent. So they are here to fight. Reincarnation may burn. Nongrata walks past the smoked up heroes, now putting in the observers. Avalanche toss. They find the first kill. They need to kill off Husker. Silent looking for that crypt. They have the extra damage arriving from Nongrata, but in the back lines, the Lich can't reach him. Nongrata begins his TP out. Silent, he took a while and actually didn't do his. So up the hill won't work either. Ame will arrive, and Silent unwillingly is going to be burning this reincarnation of his. Or maybe not, he's out of mana.
Nice play by him.
He actually switched to strength treads, right? So he ran out.
And he used to stun.
Yeah.
That was pretty nice.
Would have been such a waste if it burnt.
Yeah. It's still a long cooldown at level 1, so nice heads up play there. Well, they got rid of the Aegis. That's not that bad, actually. This Aegis could have resulted in racks if things went worse. So at the very least, Iceberg and Silent got rid of that one. But top lane, somebody's godlike.
What is he? He's 904 on the Clinks.
He's close to BKB.
And then none of that magical damage that Winstrike have been using to find kills is going to work on him.
They actually can't kill him. When he is death packed up and BKB'd, I don't think they have damage. They have 1 or 2 hits from Tiny and a 3-throw, and 3-throw? Tree-throw? Welcome to 3-throw airport. And they have the crit from Wraith King.
Chalice chasing Nongrata, needed the arrow to connect to really make that work.
Silent. Dodged the stun with Strafe, but now it's getting a little bit awkward. This is a huge kill if they have the vision. They got it. Nice play.
Yeah, he doesn't have the mana to really help out. Meanwhile, Charles is dying on the bottom lane. They chain frost.
Great kill.
So always want to fly, however, is the man that claims 914 gold. But you'll take everything you can get now.
That was a super good execution. It's a shame that that fly got the kill, but it's it was just nice to see the way they chained that and set that up. They used the Zeus ulti to get vision for the stun from Wraith King to give time for Lich to get there with a sentry. There's really good communication in that moment from them. But like you said, they lost Tiny at the same time, so it's a bittersweet feeling. Finally we kill the Clinks, but it feels like nothing in this game is free. It's never free.
There's always a cost to it. At least I always want to flag us something to help out the team. Like he finished up a buckler with the money he got.
Yay.
Yay. At least they just build up the armor, build up anything you can. Iceberg walks right over the top of Chalice. Chalice under the cover of an Invis rune. As Dire sentries are down, but they don't actually have... they're not finding any observer wards there. That's what they're kind of hoping for, but they look towards the mid. The wraparound from Winstrike that can come from behind. Hand of God trying to keep Nongrata alive as Chalice left in very, very deep. And no more charges available. FY is out of range for the fissure onto Always Want to Fly.
That was 3 leaps, but worth it for the Zeus kill for sure.
Is Son just egging his own teammates on? Chicken! Didn't want to dive.
I don't think so. He's been using it pretty randomly across the games I've seen. He's been using it after they lose fights and stuff. Maybe it's just like the sound of chickens, you know? Who doesn't? Eggs are great.
Where's the Phoenix again?
Eggs are great.
So now you got Life Steal onto Somnus. Not that it was hard enough bringing him down, but 15% Life Steal. Looks towards Iceberg, but they find a better target. Always Want to Fly, Wave of Terror, and the arrow is right on the money.
In the line.
Right in the empty space.
And Ame finds another target. Silent has no reincarnation. Up the hill, strafe, strafe, strafe. Boom, boom, boom. Silent, toggle, toggle, toggle. Need a little bit more, just a little bit. Just a little bit more.
Uh-oh.
Got it.
And then a little bit more again. And then 5 seconds for a TP.
Yeah. Okay, a lot more.
Yeah.
A little bit is an incorrect value.
Mucho more.
Mucho, mucho. We are not going back down that road. Oh, Nongrata can't find his rune. He's like, wait, wait, wait. Someone's down here. No fear. You should be really, really careful because you're going to get one of your creeps taken away from you. And then 1, 2, 3, almost a 4th not required from Ame.
Kill this whole army too.
It takes so long for a Chen to build up. All gone.
Yeah, it might even be impossible now. It's going to be difficult for him to get out on the map and find creeps. The This is one of the downsides to Chen is that this hero is not good when you're losing most of the time. In the past, you had the send back as the solution. Like, you could still be really impactful with that, but now that it's a 6-second delay, it's really difficult to do defensive plays. You want to play aggressively, you want to play from ahead. If you don't have creeps, what do you really offer?
Nongrata can feel the tingle. Something's not right. Sumnus was ready to jump him in mid, and FY's got his blink dagger ready to go too. I'm trying to find the bright side right now for Winstrike, and
it's rough.
Yeah.
It's just rough. There are games like this.
The probability is like you're 20 minutes in and you're already at a 2% chance to win.
Yep.
And
that graph has been up high for a while.
And Iceberg's dead again. He can't even try and turn onto him. Arme has a BKB he can pop if he wants to. So Thunder God's Wrath. All right, Iceberg knows. Iceberg knows.
Run!
In Invis, that's the one way you can have to escape.
Well, that worked.
Yeah. Thanks, Nongrata. Thanks. Oh, nice arrow. Chen in trouble. The Hellfire Blast just tries to create a little bit of space as Chalice leaps away. Actually, you finished the medallion onto a Chen.
Oh, he's playing without boots? I didn't realize. Playing medallion and trying to get an eggs. Speaking of eggs, I had Eggs Benedict and an omelet this morning. It was really nice.
Oh, it's not eggs. That's eggs.
Eggs Benedict?
Eggs Benedict.
Come on now. It was great.
Well,
actually,
obviously, you upgraded from a normal omelet into something which was overpowered, so yes.
It wasn't just Eggs Benedict, okay? It was Eggs Benedict with smoked salmon.
Oh.
It was smoked salmon Eggs Benedict, and then I had a double cheese omelet with ham and cheese. And well, with ham and tomato, sorry. Not with ham and cheese. That would be triple cheese.
I know exactly what you're talking about, too, because we had that. Oh.
It was great. Yep, living that NA life for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Sin is going to be a real fat guy.
Yep.
Moonlight Shadow being used, and did you bring detection, Winstrike? Did you also bring protection? Iceberg on the way out.
Fissure.
What a fissure. FY's positioning is brilliant. Cannot wait for him to play against EG later on. Winstrike, they just cannot find anything in this game, and they'll lose their mid.
Winstrike cannot wait to play against anyone else later on. You just want to get out of this game. It's getting harder and harder. This is a buyback from Lich, but they're missing the Zeus for 30 seconds, and Somnus is feeling really confident here. They could fall back.
Silence getting something, or is he? Jump down, stun, and well, you can't armlet toggle this kind of power. There's Fissure available. Here it comes. Then the totem follow-up. It'll keep the stuns going, and Silent only now could turn on the armlet. He'll go down, back inside the base. You may as well call it right now. You're 23, 24 minutes in. Always Want to Fly is burning inside of his own fountain, but he has the regeneration at least. And GGG, just in case 2 were not enough. Winstrike, no, this game is over.
Yeah. GG. It's one of the things we talked about yesterday going into this tournament is that in this patch, there will be games where you have this. I mean, it's been like this for a while in Dota, but Dota is very lane intensive right now, so you will have